Welcome everyone to another episode of the LanceScurv Show. I love these topics that we go into deep in human nature, and it's just something special about it. I don't know. I just like it. I dare to go where no man has gone before. Empress Ella G, I know you're here. I hear a little humming. I don't know if you're in or not. Oh, okay. I know what happened. Go ahead and talk, sweetheart. Whoa! A lot of static. That's under running water. You can hear me? It's okay? Or you're going to have to hang up and call again or hit the link again. It's definitely a problem. Yeah, it's definitely a problem. I know I heard that humming noise. We're going to continue until she comes back. But like I said, I love these topics where we go deep and just challenge ourselves and really come up with answers, really face things. Because there's so much going on in the world right now and so many things that we do. And I can't really say, I mean, that's the title. We say, why do women cheat? You know, when you say, why do women cheat? It's like, this is the way I look at it, because.
Is it better?
Yeah, you're perfect. Yeah, I was asking for you. How are you doing tonight, sweetheart? Even though I know you're doing good. We're fronting like we didn't talk. Yeah, we were talking for a long time before we got on. We were searching for Girl Scout cookie pictures. We found some things we couldn't put up. But anyway.
No, we didn't. We didn't find anything. We're not doing that tonight. No.
Oh, I see Flora Elizabeth here. You're on Facebook, so you may not see the rest of the YouTube chat. So if you can, come on over to LanceScurv on YouTube and you can get into the chat where everybody else is there. I'm just putting a photo because I can see it from there. Also, Sharon Johnson, you're on Facebook also. It's going to be impossible to interact unless you're actually on the YouTube platform. And yeah, like I said, you know, I look at it this way. I'm going to jump right into it. Right?
Yes, please.
A lot of women don't look at it as cheating. A lot of women look at it as I'm getting what I need and I'm getting what I don't have. Well, how do I know that?
How do you know that? Yeah, please.
I was a dashing young man who didn't hold back on a lot of things as I was going through my adventures in life. And ended up not targeting married women because that's bad. I would never do that, but ended up with some who didn't say anything, or it wasn't an issue. They were going on like they were. It wasn't a thing where you have to say, "Are you married?" You know what I mean? Because you'd meet them and then they talk with you a little bit. You say, "Hey, let's hang out next week." You never ask anything like that, especially when they were a little older. Because for me, it wasn't ever like, I can say dating, but that's not what it was. Even though we made dates out of it, it was like we're kind of hanging out, feeling around what's going on. They were always a little older than me. And I mean, like, and some old, real older, older than me. I'm 19, 20, 21, 22. And they were some 20 plus years older than me, maybe more than that. But
see, I can't even understand that.
Well, see, I never came over that way. No. Okay, no, I'm going to defend that one. Of course, I was young, but I like to talk. I like to communicate. I was a gentleman, right? And I was somebody who didn't come with this aggression. And usually women who are in those situations want some control, because a lot of them, and this is what I say is not one set rule, but a lot of them came from situations where the man was set in their ways and wouldn't bend with anything.
Right.
You'd have a woman who wanted to take a nice romantic drive. I ain't watch no damn, take no damn the football games on tonight. You know what I mean? And it was always underlying issues that somehow, some way, was like they weren't appreciated. Now, again, folks are going to come at me in the future. You're making it seem like these damn women are perfect, and you're making it. No, I'm not saying that. Or, you're simping for them or whatever. No. It was never that. It's just understanding. Now, we have some women out here who straight up think like men. Like,
right.
I'm not talking about those kind. I'm talking about the kind that you would never know are stepping out on the husband.
Right.
Or in a committed relationship where you're bound by, if not a ring and a piece of paper, money and commitments. You know what I mean? So that's just as, you're not getting away from that fast. It's not like giving back a high school ring. You see what I mean? So a lot of men think it's just about sex. Most of the time it ends up being sexual. But it will end up being sexual a lot. But the sweetest part of it for them is everything else before. You see what I mean? Like the competition and the interest in treating them right and making them feel like appreciated and really appreciating them. And so this is why men take their woman for granted, and they don't tell them how nice they look. They don't tell them how, I noticed you did your nails, your toenails today, and it matches with your dress. Not just that superficial stuff, but a detailed person. Be a detailed person. Be considerate on how they feel. How are you feeling today? And not even just ask them, because they may not give you an answer really on how they're feeling. You have to discern.
You got to be able to read them. Exactly.
You have to discern it and act accordingly. Like you might have made a date with your wife, as one of these guys was set in their ways, and she may not want to go now, but you have to be able to tell that, and maybe something you want to do too. And you have to say, well, listen, sweetheart, come sit down here for a second. I'm kind of getting the feeling that you're not really up to going, and I may not be up to going either. Don't push yourself tonight. This doesn't mean as much to me as you feeling good means to me.
Sure. But Brother Lance, that sounds so sweet. But
no. Well, and I know that's not the norm. I'm not trying to come out and be Mr. Perfect. I'm not trying to be Mr. Perfect. I'm just saying that's the way it should be. It should be because look, that woman, honey, are you hungry? You know what I mean? What do you want to have tonight? Whatever she's asking him and whatever. And I know, I know they're going to be some men. It's not always that way, man. These hoes out here, man, they rough. I know they're going to come at me with this, but I'm talking about, the title is misleading, because when we say cheat, we think sex.
Right. It's not.
Right? But it's not. Right. But is it a woman getting what she wants? I'm not justifying stepping out either way, man or female. But what I'm saying is that what is she supposed to sit there and yearn to be held or talk to or made to laugh or find out what it is that's unique to her, that means something to her? Those inside jokes that bond you together to make you feel like you belong in something. And then we have to understand where some of these women are coming from. They may not have had a father. They may not have had a decent man in their life that really catered to them that way. Yes, I said cater because you both should cater to each other. You both should be a student of each other. You shouldn't have to
Right.
tell a person twice what your favorite thing is, your favorite color, your favorite this, your
You know
favorite
what that
song.
comes back to, right? You know what that comes right around to?
What's that?
Knowing each other's love language.
Right. And if you don't do that, you know, it's they can go years yearning, just like women can go a long time without sex. You know, is that a fan on? It's not that bad or anything. I'm just want to know if that's something.
I don't know what that is. I'm just sitting here quiet. There's absolutely nothing going on in here in my space.
This is weird. Let me see. There's nothing here I can do. That's just the way it is. That's like a big static. Can anybody in the chat room just say if they hear that kind of like they're in front of an AC or a fan or something? If you hear those noises,
this is that one night I don't even have on. Hang on, let me see.
In the chat room, just say if they hear that kind of like they're in front of
I do hear it.
or a fan or something. It's the echo.
Those noises. This is that one night I don't even have on. No, you're hearing my cell phone, but.
Oh, because I'm hearing myself talk.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could hear the it's like a shh.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong here. It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Why does this happen?
No, it's okay. I mean, they can hear us clear. And what'll happen? We may not even hear it in the replay. So I'll just go on as usual. So those one of those things that you don't even worry about it, just make it mess up your rhythm. So we're gonna go forward and we're gonna have a good time. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Like I said, is it a crime? Is it a crime? I mean, say you don't feed your dog and you leave the dog in the house and he's hungry. And now you dish out some plates of food for yourself and don't give anything to the dog, but the doorbell rings and the dog's in the house near the plates of food and you answer the door and talk to your friend for 10 minutes. Do you expect to see that food left back there again? He's going to eat it.
True.
You know what I mean, getting what you need. Now, of course, there should be a measure of control on both sides. But if she is explaining to him after a while that, well, you know, I really don't feel, she may be a kind of person who doesn't communicate or is shy to communicate. But when she finally communicates, I'm not going to put the blame on the man, but you should be a little more receptive. You understand?
Right.
I understand them not. I mean, this is somebody so precious to you, so valuable to you, not just like, oh, sex and cooking, but this is your life partner. This is a person you've committed to. Why is it? That's like buying a brand new car and you don't tune it up and you don't wash it. What do you expect? It's going to corrode. It's going to run down. It's going to yearn to be cared for. Not that cars have emotions and feelings, but can't you keep the excitement? Keep them laughing.
Right.
Keep those inside jokes. Keep them laughing. Keep coming with the rapid fire, cerebral trips. Learn what makes them laugh and ride it. You know what I mean? Bring them out and surprise with their favorite foods. If you're broke, take a walk, do something small, do something considerate. But they don't get that lots of times, right? Now
that's true.
And those are the precursors. Those are the precursors for good lovemaking. You set the mood. And it's not always about, well, I'm only setting the mood just to get sex. You should be setting the mood just to set the mood so they stay in the mood all the damn time of feeling nice and feeling connected. It's like when you see that comedian that made you laugh so hard and you see him walk out on the stage on a television set or in person and you start laughing because he had you cracking up in stitches before. So she could see you and be like, oh man, he's home. And so
now, we know that, for men, just the, everyday life. If you're a man who's out there doing what you're supposed to do, working, bringing home the bacon or the pork chops or whatever the hell you bring home. But, the sockeye salmon, if you're bringing those things home, sometimes just the stresses of everyday life can make you distant, Exactly. But it's when that behavior becomes consistent, when the television set is more important than the person that you have in your life, when hanging with the boys is more important than, doing the things that she likes, going shopping with her. That's not something that you have to do every day to make, or every weekend to make it a torturous event, but it's something that should be done from time to time, just to
Mhm.
show this person that you even if you don't really have an interest in what she's doing, but you're willing to do it because you care about her, you know?
And if it brings joy to her, learn to let it bring joy to you, whatever it may be. Learn about it. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's this thing. If she's into exotic fish and you're like, I don't want to be into that. Well, if you're in the hunt and that's an extension of what she likes, your value
Mhm.
will raise when you get into it a little bit. She doesn't expect you to get into that all the way. But if you can surprise her with some type of knowledge of that subject that she loves so much, or that endeavor, to show that you're making that effort, she's like, oh, wow, you know about that?
Right.
And it raises your value. It shows that you're interested. You're willing to do what it takes to be with her. And
Exactly.
again, I don't care about these guys who are going to come at me, man. You too soft with these hoes, man. They're going to use you up, man, and move on to the next one. That's because
No, and those are the men that won't have a good woman.
that's what I'm trying to say. And they ran after a woman just for sex and got burnt, and they mad.
Hmm.
Now they say something for the good woman. Like a lot of these women that I've known in the past who do what people would call cheating, because they're only going to focus on just sex, right? And lots of
Exactly.
it doesn't even go that far. That's there and can happen, but it doesn't go that far. A lot of times they feel even apprehensive and a little guilty that they're even spending time and feeling good with another man.
And
I know
right,
this
because
for a fact.
right, cheating is not there's not always sex. Sometimes it's emotional,
Right.
and unfortunately, emotional infidelity can be worse than just going out there and just
Right.
having a roll in the sack with somebody and going back home, And most of the time when women cheat, that's why they cheat. They're cheating because they're not getting that emotional fulfillment at home. Yes, you have the reactionary ones who may find out their partner has gone out there and done whatever, and so they're going to take revenge and do the same thing. That's childish. That's foolish. you
Revenge
know
won't count. That's like a
right,
knee reaction. If you could just,
right.
what tears you apart is when you find out that your man stepped out on you. And what
Hmm.
makes it worse is not only just that, but if she finds out that there's some kind of connection where you're getting along, some kind of emotional connection. It's like, oh man,
Right,
you're
right.
feeling this woman. Better,
Hmm.
you don't want none of it, right? But better if it was some stranger that you had used as a glorified friction provider, and that's it.
Right,
Now, when
right.
you find a connection, and then remember, it's not always just the physical affair, but there's
Hmm.
also those emotional affairs. Those are the ones that sneak up on you,
Hmm.
and the mate doesn't even know it at all and can go on for years undetected. And then, you're like a fruit ready to hang off and drop off the tree because you're so ripe. And the mental seduction and
Hmm.
foreplay connectedness has been going on for so long. It's a foregone conclusion. That's when it's
Right,
really all gone. So,
right.
we say cheat, but like I
But
said, a
that's
lot.
not real. It's a the word has a lot of meanings, so let's not look at it from the base level. Let's try to see what all it encompasses, and not just, oh, it's all about the sex part. It's not. When you have a relationship where you don't we sort of touched on this on yesterday's show too, you don't feel comfortable talking to the person you're with. um they don't listen. They don't hear you. They don't try to understand you. um they're not they don't really have empathy to feel what you feel as a woman. Like, I mean, Brother Lance, you get it. You talk about it. You understand it. You know, from a man's point of view and you see it from a woman's point of view because you've been around enough of them to know, where they're coming from. But a lot of men don't take the time to really get to know their partner. And when they come across someone who is willing, and we're not talking about the ones though who are just going to be phony for a moment because they have ulterior motives, because that can happen too, and that can be very devastating.
Yeah.
We're talking about someone who genuinely wants to hear what they have to say, makes them laugh, makes them feel free to be themselves, things like that. All of a sudden, that person starts to look mighty good, and even if in her mind, she would never step out on the person that she's with to take it to the physical level. She's going to look forward to having that person to communicate with. You understand? And yeah.
And see, this is how some men, single and married, have figured out the formula to get sex from these women who have needs more than just a sex thing. The sex
Right.
is a foregone conclusion when you have the other things there. That's a definite. So if you get these men who are so shrewd and they know how to appeal to a woman like that and give them what they need, even if you're giving it to them in a false way because all you want is one thing. Remember, there are a lot of people out here who are like that. Like you said, you find out that if you're a woman and you're kind of spending time with someone, getting those intangibles of what you need, it's a double hurt now. And this is for the ones who are there, because I know there's a lot of them out there, because growing up, I've run into a lot. Bottom line is, when you realize you've been manipulated, you can't run to your husband with that hurt. You can't run with that hurt, because now you stepped out, and I don't mean stepped out like I'm just going for sex, but you've opened yourself up to someone else that you thought was genuine, but it was like, wait a second, this guy's got 3 other women. They're all married, or he's playing on me. That's got to be like a super hurt. Now, I'm not going to say that woman is stupid. I'm just saying, as a figure of speech, you feel stupid now. You feel used now. Now you're enraged. Now, what do? Because it felt so good to get what you thought that you wanted, but it wasn't genuine.
Right.
You bought this fabulous gold chain on the street, but when you went to go and get it appraised, you realized it was fake, and the person used you and took you off. You see? That
is devastating. That can be, and that is devastating. Just thinking of it from the perspective of a woman, trying to imagine myself in that kind of, position. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What would I do?
Right.
You know?
So you have to be careful on the other side. We have a brother here named Wendell Farrell, right? He says, women are terrible to keep long term. I talked to a 46-year-old woman acting like a 15-year-old. They want that marriage license for divorce payout. I'll never trust these women, American women. Well, first of all, I got to disagree on some
that's
things,
unfortunate, right? For him.
Unfortunate, but if you talk to a woman who's 46 and she's acting like a 15-year-old, that's your fault. Once you found that out, that was time to back up.
Exactly.
And you say they want that marriage license for divorce payout. So that's telling me that evidently you may have run into more women who you've found out to be shallow that way. And you say, I'll never trust these American women again. You can't say all American women are that way. You can't say all black women. Well, you can't say that. Look, you have some shrewd. I'm in Ghana right now, Accra. You have some shrewd Ghanaian women who they are so slick. I can't say all Ghanaian women are that way. And I'm not saying I've been in those situations, but I see how they operate. Because I have to say it. And I'm not saying about all Ghanaian women, right? But she's the woman, she said it. She said Ghana is the side chick capital of the world. Because here we have a culture that you can marry 5 women. So the extra thing doesn't bother many of them. But a lot of them are so willing to, like, you take care of me and I'll take care of you, and I ain't got no problem with it. And I've had women insinuate things from a distance to try me to see if I was down for something like that. But I cannot say all Ghanaian. You cannot say all everything. I've known a lot of wonderful marriage material type Black American women that I can see that that's what they are. Doesn't mean I was willing to jump into bed with them. I've been married before and I've seen them and I'm like, okay, this is a person who is really worth it, you know? And they say, well, Lance, do you know any friends? I said, listen, some friends I have, you wouldn't want to know them. You know what I mean? Some,
right.
yeah. Dwayne, the real Rock Johnson, my brother, how are you doing? You know, but see, like I said, each situation is an individual thing. And as far as a man attracting a certain type of woman, that's kind of off topic, but sometimes we're the lightning rod for certain types of women. Like,
right.
I want to talk to, and if I was single, I wouldn't want to talk to a 46-year-old woman who acts like she's 15 years old. That's a red flag. That's something I would not do. I'll be nice to them and getting out of there, you know, but you know, and a lot of us, there are many men who like to deal with those types, but get mad when they end up getting slicked. Like, okay, she's a little dumb. She's got the body. She's 46 years old. She has everything. Yeah, let me see if I can play around with this one. Then they get you. Now you're mad. I'm not saying that's you, brother. I'm just saying that's just the way it is. A lot of older brothers out here who like to mess with the actual younger girls that are very shrewd too. But they're willing to be used as long as like we have an agreement. Look, I'm getting this and you're getting that. But what really are you getting in exchange?
Exactly.
But we have, again, expectations in relationships. Like they say, why do women cheat? Well, that particular woman may be stepping out for totally different reasons than another woman is. Because of her, there's many factors. You can't say there's one size that fits all. There are many factors. You know, how they were raised, what they considered normalcy, right? What was their heart broken? What about the emotional threshold? Some women can, and I don't mean physical beating now, y'all. Let me get that straight. But if they can take a beating emotionally and not be fazed by it and go to the next relationship and have a clean, fresh slate. Some women go through a little something and they're traumatized for the rest of their life and the next man has to pay for it. So there are different variables in this thing. It's not just what has happened to you or your experiences, but what is your tolerance for,
right.
What tipping point emotionally that brings you to a certain point. So brothers have got to know what they're dealing with and who they're dealing with. And again, it goes back to the conversation, communication, and getting to know. People say, oh, this is so complicated. Listen, stop thinking with that lower head and think with the upper head. You understand? Because take time and get to know them. You can avoid a lot of issues. Take your time, know yourself, and then get to know this person. But if you got major issues, how you gonna, you got major issues. I'm not knocking all men. Some men don't have major issues, but the ones who do have the major issues, get your stuff straight. Is it a crime to go 3 or 4 years without no pizza? Is it really a crime? Is it really a crime to air out?
Women do it all the time.
2 years or 1 year or whatever, or don't even know what time it's going to be. Get yourself straight, because you know what? You jump into something and you're not compatible. You might have 15, 20, 25 years of heartbreak and heartache and just misery where you think you got to go step out. You know what I mean? On the man's side. So do both of you a favor, and the woman has to do the same thing too.
That's true. But you know what? I think that when a woman actually steps away or step out, if you want to put it that way, that's after having taken a lot. That, that's not something that happens, oh, okay, you're married X amount of years or whatever. That's not the kind of thing that's going to happen in year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Although
you know what I'm
it.
saying? Yeah. But that's it. That's what, let's look at that as the extreme, because usually in those years, those, first, let's say 5, they talk about the 7-year itch. So you say the first 5, 6, 7 years, that's still, the growing phase, the trying to get to know each other, dealing with the bumps and stuff like that. To me, it's after that time when nothing seems to be working. You know what I mean? Communication isn't there, or the kind of communication that leads to a deeper level of intimacy and trust. It's not there. And then somebody comes along who's willing to listen. You know, sometimes women need someone, they need that girlfriend in a man. They don't want to have a girlfriend in a husband that's going to be clingy. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the one where every turn you make, they want to be up under your backside, you know, and they don't give you a chance to breathe. You know, that's not it. But you want that girlfriend gene in your husband so that you can talk about anything. You know, you can be lighthearted, you can be serious, it can be fun, you know, without it sounding, I guess, pedophilic. I don't know. You can let that little girl out, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. In a righteous way.
Yes. You know, that's what you want. You want somebody who's going to make you crack up all the time, you know, so that when the rough times come, you have something to fall back on. You know, you have a place to go with each other that helps you to deal with the rough times. It's when you don't have those things, when, you know, there is no sense of, this person feels me, this person gets me, you know. And then if somebody else comes along, and let's take out the ones that want to abuse you, or not abuse, what's the word? They just want to get what they want to get from you. All right. I can't think of the word right now. Let's take that person out of it. You get someone who really wants to know you, you know, and they want to hear your thoughts. They want to hear your dreams. They want to hear the things that make you tick, that make you go, you know, whatever. When you get that kind of person, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to gravitate to that individual. And then there's going to be conflict in their head because they don't want to step out. You know, they don't want to step out on who they're with. But at the same time, here's somebody that's making them feel all the feels that they've always desired to feel, you know? And the only thing that's missing is the sexual intimacy. But they have the emotional intimacy going on. You understand? And 9 times out of 10, when you find a situation like that, they're not getting the full sexual intimacy at home. You know, it's just, you know, they're giving it up because they want what they want. Also, they have physical urges. We have physical urges, and we're going to give it to get it. You understand what I'm saying? But we're not getting it the way we really want it, the way we desire it. When you have emotional intimacy with someone, the physical intimacy is going to be off the chain. That's all I'm saying. Am I done?
Preach on. Martha Vineyard, that the super chat won't be back until June 26th. And the reason why I know the exact date and why it's not there, they tried 3 times or 2 times in March and 1 time in December to give me a strike on the channel, one for hate speech and the other one for medical misinformation when I was speaking about my opinion on the COVID. So they struck me. And you take a strike for a week. The first time you take a strike for 2 weeks where you can't upload or do anything. But for 3 months after that first strike and the remaining strikes, you just don't have a super chat. So they're taking away 25% of your year in super chats. So, you know, that's why it's not there, but it'll be back on the 26th or 27th. And like I said, I have something on the bottom there to, you know, support the channel. But for the most part, you know, I don't get out here like this and give this and give that. And no, what I say is like, hey, hit $1 on Patreon, $1.
Right.
Just to whatever, because like I said, we love doing what we do. We do know their costs for certain things, but we don't overemphasize it because some folks are coming out here off the chain. Do what you do, and when you're led to do it, it'll come, and it goes right back into the equipment, the programs that have to keep up. I don't take any funds that I get from this platform and anything that anybody gives me to go out and get rims on a car. I don't even have a car right now, right? But That's just my pet peeve. I don't know how other people do it, but they get on there as soon as they hit that live button, they start begging you or telling you what you got to give. And I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm just glad you all are here who can vibe with me. Because if something really happened, I said, listen, I'm in trouble. I need an operation or something's wrong with me. Please. You know what I mean? I know you got
Roman, you're a mess.
Patreon, but Patreon, you can throw $1 in there every month. And, that's cool with me. That's cool with me.
Right.
Everybody's the same way. But you're right. That's what it is. And you got to have that girlfriend chip. Now, a lot of other men were frustrated. And what you mean girlfriend chip? You trying to be a woman? You a little simp? No, and I'm not simping for pizza. Because let me tell you something too. It's the sweetest. Look, I'm not calling women kittens, right? But you ever have a little kitten? You sitting on the couch on a Sunday afternoon, and you have that little kitten or little cat that just comes up next to you, snuggles next to you.
Don't let me start thinking things here.
Yeah, right. No, but they come up and snuggle up next to you, nice and relaxed. And the beauty of it, then they fall asleep, and it's like, wow, this is really good bonding. Let me tell you, one of the sweetest feelings a man can have. Look, we know the physical feelings and how awesome that can feel, or whatever preferred way you feel to connect your orifices and exchange crotch sauce, whichever way that is, right? Not to sound so lewd, but I'm talking about let me tell you a little story.
Thank you, Martha. Thank you, sweetie. Go ahead, Brother Lance.
Yeah. There was a time when I was working at Home Depot, and I got into doing the dollar van in New York City. I was making a lot of money doing that. I left Home Depot because I was making too much money a week. Like, man, I'm wasting my time working at Home Depot, right? So I'm driving the van through the streets of New York City, through the streets of Queens. That's another source of how many stories I can get, because every day was several things that happened or things that you saw, right? And after a while, there was a young lady who lived across the street from me, but she grew up, a couple years younger, but she's of age now. And I kind of peeped the way she was dressing, coming home late at night. I'm like, is she a prostitute or is she a stripper, right? Comes to find out that, yeah, she was a stripper, but, she would do the VIP sometime, which was a little prostitution. I didn't hold it against her. I watched her grow up from a little girl, and I knew there were factors involved. And I knew there were other factors involved that kind of led her down that road, So I didn't come down on her. Well, one day she's like, listen, you got this van. Could you take me out to New Jersey? I got a thing to do, and, I don't trust these cab drivers or whatever. I'm like, I'll take you. And I waited for her, and she knew about 5 or 6 of the other girls that were working that night. And they all lived in New York City. So she said, oh my God, he's got a van and it's just you and him. Can he please take us? It was like cold out there that night. It was the kind of like ice that stays there for 2 months because it stayed cold, on the sidewalk. So dirty ice. So we took them, and we made this a regular thing. I started taking them out of the state, different places. They had my number. They call me. I had a great relationship with these young ladies who many men would go crazy over because what they were doing and just the way they looked, because most of them kept themselves up. Well, there was one who was a little older, not old or anything like that, but just a little older than those ones who were in their early 20s. She was like in her early 30s, but she was very good at what she did. She had a lot of magazine spreads, these spreads, right? In magazines locally. So she had a reputation, and she was out there. She was like highly in demand. Her name pulled weight, and she was trying to milk it because, her hot time might soon be over. She's up in age for that type of thing. So she would call me a lot to take her around, and we got to talking, and no, it didn't end up that kind of thing. She respected me and I respected her, but I saw her doing her stuff when I would wait for her in these parties. I didn't stay outside sitting in the van. She's like, come on up. So these guys who there's somebody get married and something that she's on her knees with a couple of guys, whatever. I'm not condoning that. It kind of hurt me, like kind of to see, but she had her reasons for doing what she did. But the fact that I respected her and treated her like a queen and treated her like a lady after seeing those things. And sometimes she'd give me her money to hold on to, and I give it back. But some guys say, oh, you her pimp, right? I'm like, no, it don't work that way. I said all that to say this. I got to know her personally. Once she kind of felt me out, and I know she was a little paranoid because she had a lot of bad experiences with men. But talking to me, going to different spots, coming back, we go somewhere, we get something to eat, we'll eat together, whatever. She got to know me and there was no motivation behind it. And so she felt comfortable. And so sometimes if she wanted me to do a moving job or pick up a bunk bed or some furniture, or she was doing some shopping for her mother, like a whole lot of it. Her mother was up in age. So she would take some of that money that she made and she like, oh, I'm going to go shopping tomorrow. I'm going to need your van again. I said, could you please, I'll pay you. It's okay. But I'm going to do it anyway. And so we're shopping together and everything. One night she called me and she was feeling very lonely. Mm-hmm. And she said, Lance, it's not a sex thing. I get sex a lot every week when I do my thing. It's not what I want. I just want you to come over because I feel very comfortable with you.
Right.
And I'm not, when you get here, please understand that I'm not trying to trap you or whatever. I just want to spend some time with you.
Right.
And it's not about that. She had candles lit. She had a little wine. She had on some half see-through, but I knew every inch of her body anyway after taking her around to these parties and seeing her dance and do kind of crazy stuff. She just wanted to be and feel some man's energy that wasn't trying to get between her legs, that genuinely wanted to talk to her. And I held her. We sat on the couch. We talked. She cried. She fell asleep in my arms. Hmm. And it was so beautiful. And right. I know, again, I see, her body was one of the most devastating bodies in that whole circuit, okay? Anytime she wanted to do a magazine spread, they were there. She was known in that little world at that time back in the 90s. And we fell asleep. We ended up in the bed. I don't know how I got there. Leg thrower. And she's like, Lance, I just, I'm a man. I wasn't sitting there, I'm going to jump on top of her. But she said, there was such a beautiful night we spent.
Exactly.
It was such a beautiful night.
Exactly, Bright Star.
So nice. Mm-hmm. It was so nice to know that you genuinely wanted to talk with me because she was highly intellectual. Mm-hmm. She had a young daughter who she was raising up and she was saving money for college and school and different things. She sent her daughter to the best places. Lots of times her daughter would go to the mother's when she had to stay out late and do her thing on top of her job because she was also in the medical field. But she did this to supplement, and that money, she said, listen, and she said it like this. She says, Lance, I just don't understand it. You give me so much love and respect. You've seen me suck countless dicks. You've seen me screw countless men and dance and do this and do this and do that. But yet the reverence and the respect you give me, it's phenomenal. I need you in my life forever. We've eventually lost contact. I don't know how that happened. But it was nice to be able to give that. And that was one of the best feelings in the world for me. Wow. That a woman who didn't have much faith in men, really because, she ran with those types because that's what she was doing. Okay, so I understand they're going to look at her a certain way. So, she had to understand that she brought some of that attention on herself, putting herself out there. I'm not going to relieve her of that. But every man is not going to look at her a certain way by what she does. I saw past, her fears, her desires to achieve, or whatever.
KG, you're off this show. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're a jackass.
We're gonna spit him out, and we're gonna swallow, and the steamroller gonna swallow him. Yeah.
I was trying to ignore him. From the other day, he's been coming on with his slackness, and I've been trying to ignore him. But he's no. This is not a comedy night show, right? I mean, I tried to do it, but maybe you might want to do it. I don't think it went through. That you don't come up with that. Not on a show vibing like this. I mean, we vibe on the comedy shows. I've said some very lewd things, but it was in the name of comedy, making you laugh, and not a serious topic where we want to. Because there's going to be somebody out here listening on a serious level, and what am I going to entertain that? Right, right.
You know what I mean? I mean, I can joke like that, but it's not a joke night. We might joke later on. I don't know. But you don't come out like that. It's called being a pro.
He's been saying a bunch of things from a little while back, and I just passed it by, but
no, anytime they stick on the line like that, just knock them, because we know how we vibe here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know how we vibe. You see, so my thing is that there's so many different layers that even under all that the outside world might see of her and assess or judge her for, look at how beautiful a person she is. I know she's still alive. Somebody, mutual friend kind of said, I said, why don't you get a number? I'm not saying I want to get with her now. I'm just saying she's a sweet person.
Right.
And I love her righteously. And I will never, even if she doesn't, yeah, of course she doesn't do that anymore, but I would never bring, remember them back in the days? I saw you, girl. No. If she brings it up, it ain't going to be on that spirit. You know what I mean? I don't even see her that way.
Exactly.
That woman cried in my arms, man. We had a deep conversation. I was fighting back. I forgot what it was we were talking about, but we bonded and we felt each other. See, this is what we need more of.
That's what women need. That's what women need. Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that is such a bond that if 30 or 40 years went by and I really know we both got super gray hair, we're older and whatnot, that's a connection you could never break.
Right.
But you want a woman because you want something from her, you want some friction and you're lying to get to that point, right?
Right.
You mess her up, she could never have that connection with you, and you help to destroy her a little more so that she can't connect with the next man.
Right. And that's what allows a woman to respect a man. You see, a lot of us believe that the only way we can respect a man is if he's bringing home money. You know, if he's making good money and he's bringing it home and he's allowing you to stay in the nicest outfits and drive the nicest car and, you know, those kinds of things. We think of, you know, just the superficial things as the means to give a man respect. No, that's not what it is. You know, because what happens when he no longer has that good job or he's not, you know, whatever life throws at you, what happens when certain things are no longer there? Then what? You're not going to respect him anymore. You're not going to care about him anymore. What creates respect is exactly what you're just talking about. You know, it's understanding that person, because when you understand her, she's going to love you. She's going to respect you, you know. And that's what it is. That's what we need. We need to be understood.
Yep.
Sir.
But like I said, for me, I know both sides, you know, being younger and being built like that and mature and having the gift of gab, you know, a lot of things come your way and you learn. And of course, I enjoyed the physical festivities. I'm going to say no, you know, way back, right? But that afforded me to know both sides. And for me, it got to be a little too much where I kind of wanted to back away from all those things. Then I met that other young lady who I was with that pulled me back into the crazy world again. But yeah. I was kind of like, but I got into her and she pulled me back into these crazier worlds, right? But that being said, for me, like if it could be where none of us are destroyed or scarred.
Right.
Looking back, no matter all the wild stuff I did or the amounts of stuff I did, the best time was having an understanding with somebody and really having a sweet moment like that. And I've had many sweet bonding moments, and those are the ones that I remember. Not that I'm yearning to go back to those and let me step out and take a time machine or whatever. But no, when you genuinely know that you left a good impression on a woman, that no matter what happens in her life, she can say, you know what? I knew a man who's not like that.
Right.
A very good friend of mine who wasn't really into men. Okay. Long story. You know what that is, right? But we had a great connection. And the great connection flowed into the physical. But I wasn't trying to be like these guys, a girl, I'm going to straighten you out. No, we met on a human level. None of that. It was just closeness. And, you know, I didn't even push for that. But it happened. And it's still a bond. Like if I was to ever, you know, it's just a bond. Like I know you're a decent person.
Right.
That gives me more satisfaction in my memories and my thoughts than anything else. I don't sit here and man, you know how many women I've been with. No, it's not that. I'm even ashamed that I wish I can take all that and reduce those numbers and just reduce those things. But
Yeah, but you know what? Don't reduce it. We talk about this all the time.
yeah,
And I tell you all the time that all of those experiences is what has brought you to where you are right now. You know,
yeah,
to really have a full understanding of not just women. Well, when I say men, I don't mean that you know what I mean, you know. Um, listen, let's not start. Let's try to keep this serious. But you know what I'm saying. You know,
Mhm.
you you have a full, well-rounded understanding of human nature simply because you've been down so many different roads. You know, and I don't think you would want to change any of that because you know you wouldn't be who you are if you did.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. But I was raised a certain way, and I never had this woman hate thing going on, and had a great relationship with my mother and my father, and they had a great relationship with each other.
Right.
So I don't have these. I'm not saying that if you had parents that didn't, that something's wrong with you or whatever. No, doesn't mean that. It's just that it worked out fine for me. Sometimes you have parents that are great, and the person coming up turns out a certain way, whatever. It's all these different combinations. I can't go down the whole list of things, but I'm just saying that when I think back, it still hits me a little bit because I went through a period where it's true. When you hear women say, these men always wanted to get at me and I was violated a couple of times and I just did everything to make myself unattractive. Because that's one of the reasons
True.
I walked away from bodybuilding. One of them. I mean, it was the politics and the guys taking steroids and all this stuff. And it's like, I'm kind of tired of being a piece of meat. But see, it was my fault for putting myself out there like that, doing the dancing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I had to deal with that. So I stopped and I was trying my best to be overweight, eating and whatever. But I held my shape for a long time without training for many years. But I tried to make
Right.
myself, because I was lonely. There was a lonely part of me because
Wow.
guys don't understand, and they say, well, let me be the judge. Let me have a whole lot of women and see. I'd like it.
Right.
Well,
Right.
maybe so much on a lower vibration, maybe you won't even notice it. But
Right.
you got to earn that thing. And after a while, you're waking up somewhere. You feel like,
Hmm.
I'm not going to say oh, I came to your bedroom 2:00 in the morning. You left the back door open because I was looking for true love. That'd be stupid. I wasn't thinking that.
That's
But
right.
after a while, you're here, you're there, you're here. You got friends of yours who are applauding you. And you're like,
Hmm.
man, this ain't too cool.
This is not what I want.
Yeah. I remember one time I was laying in some woman's bed and I was supposed to get out of there by a certain time, but her daughter woke up earlier. Mommy, who's that? That
Mm-mm.
messed me up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to even, why don't you come over? Just come over a couple hours. Just by 5:00, But the child woke up
Right.
4:30 or something like that to go to the bathroom and came to see the mom.
Oh, wow.
Those things bothered
Oh,
me. And I was young then too, you know?
right. But
Is
a
that
lot of us women don't recognize that men need that same kind of emotional support too,
yeah.
We don't recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's the man's fault because of that
Yeah.
whole macho persona. They don't peel back, and they don't allow us to peel back their layers to
Right.
see what's beneath.
That's true.
So we never really get a true understanding of what a man wants.
Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of men they're sold out to this standard that other men have put on them. To be a man, you have to do this. And to be a man, you have to do that. I know a lot
Right.
of men who how could I say it? We all have emotions. How
Mm-hmm.
come when we get into a zone where it's not 100% emotions, but you can see that we have emotions. You have someone, oh, you're too emotional. Oh, you're too emotional.
Right,
You know,
right.
look, I've cried on shows. I
Real
have no
men cry.
crying out of anger, out of
Mm-hmm.
sadness, out of love,
Mm-hmm.
out of happiness. I'm not going to sit here and die of emotional constipation, upholding something and killing something off inside myself that is so natural that I
Right,
need to connect with somebody else.
right.
I'm a straight man, and I tell a lot of my friends who are male that I love them very much in a righteous way.
Exactly.
I'm not going to sit here
Exactly.
and be rigid and all constipated. They got these men who, and those men who are like that, they don't like people like me. Oh,
No,
it's
they
too
don't.
soft. Oh, it's too emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is love? You just
But do
made
you
it once.
do
Weirdos,
you
man.
know do they know or do you know the flood of emotions that you can release in a woman if you allow yourself to be vulnerable in front of her and cry?
But
I
that's the thing.
mean, oh my God. That can be the difference between just having a basic relationship and having something really sweet and wonderful, because that person allows themselves to
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
strip away all the ego and just
Right.
be real
I
and
have no
just
problem being
be.
vulnerable. I do it all the time on the show. I put things
I
out there.
know.
I mean, I have no problem. Look, some folks will like it, some won't. Some think I'm weird. Some people think I'm putting on. That's just the way I am. Because you know what? I don't have any baggage. I know
Right.
when to put my bags down. I don't have to hold them up in my hand or hold them in my arm all the time. Let me just answer a question. I don't know if Martha Vineyard meant to ask that for me. If I'm from Hunters Point, was that question for me? And I'm from New York City. I don't know if you meant Hunts Point, which I doubt that, right? Hunts Point in New York City, right? But um, yeah, but I'm not gonna not be. Let me tell you something. I'm a rough customer. Otherwise, and I don't mean like some macho dude, right? But I can be as hard as the hardest of them all.
Right.
You know, if somebody
Uh,
does something to me or my loved ones or somebody's loved one or whatever have you, and they trying to do something
mhm.
really bad, I can do something to them really bad and not flinch.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm not some walking around tough guy, but I
Right.
have the gear in me. You
Of
see what I
course,
mean?
we
So,
know
so
that. I mean, Carl, are you saying that it's wrong to be that, or are you just saying that's what the general public is calling a man who's willing to show emotions? I'm just trying to understand that that comment
mhm.
right there, because we're not talking about anyone who's doing it for brownie points, you know. Still pulse. I don't know. This is a conversation right now. I don't know. I don't think so. We have to separate the conversation from the woman. Let me stop it.
Uh,
I'm joking.
yeah, but
It took
that's
a
the
lot of
thing.
years. It took a lot of years to get to this understanding. Trust me, it didn't come easy. It came with a lot of pain. Yes, sir. Hmm.
I'm surprised you don't hear my table going up.
I did.
Oh, stand up now.
That's all right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
me personally, I mean, since we brought up the simping thing, I don't know how it
Mhm.
was referred to, but men have called me
He
that.
says it says in today's world we call that simping. I guess
Right.
because what I said about a man just opening up and be totally vulnerable and emotional to his woman.
Well,
You
see,
know.
a lot of men who run off and call. I'm not saying Carl because I didn't know how he meant that, so I'm just gonna
Right.
just ways and explain it. A lot of the men who run down other men and say, "Man, you simping." Those are the men who usually cannot be in touch with their own emotions.
Right.
Number two, simping is what they mean when they think the guy is playing that role in feigning emotion to
Hmm.
get brownie points to get to the pizza. See,
Right.
I'm not motivated by the pizza, never have been, right? Yeah, no, I know what you mean, Carl. I see that. But I'm just saying, you hear, man, you simping. Like, okay, If I'm simping, then I had a lot of
Right.
opportunity to get a lot of pizza in my life without simping. I
Right.
never had a problem with that because I never made a woman an object. Like all these hoes and all this and this. These guys got a lot of these guys who will say that about you when you are emotional. And I don't mean emotional like you're every single day, but you have emotions and you're not afraid to open up and enjoy the full range of who you are.
Right.
Do you think you have to be repressed to be a man?
Right.
I know men who despise that because they cannot go anywhere or go there with a woman. Because I know individuals in particular who had experiences when they were younger that kept them from going there because their daggone parents were cold with them.
Exactly.
Mother never held them to
Exactly.
I love you.
Exactly.
And oh, but they showed it. So now all you can do with a woman now is show her by I pay the bills and I do this. And so therefore I shouldn't have to. No, you're supposed to.
Mhm.
Why should you leave out any category? Because and these kind of men can't hold on to a woman. They'll get the ones who need the security. Okay, do this for me, do that for me, and I know you love me. They need to find them kind. And they get annoyed when they have a woman who wants to open up and be emotional. Listen,
Right.
what's better? If you have anything in your past that you're still healing up from, what's better than you and that woman, that wife, that woman, the committed, whatever it is, the committed thing? You have a nice meal, you lay down in the bed or the couch or wherever you're sitting up in the car and you talk about something in your past that really hurts you, that may be insignificant to the world, but it's important to you. And therefore it should be important to that person who's with you.
Right.
I don't care if it's something your little girl. It doesn't even always have to be a violation or rape or whatever. It could be some embarrassing moment or something that, I felt so bad. It's also, no, you're not a nutcase for going back and talking about it until, look, when detectives have a case and the case is still open, it could be 15, 20, 25 years. It's still an open case until it's solved. So it's your job, if you're committed to her, to elevate her. And if that's something important to her, you deal with it.
Exactly.
It should be a joy to relieve her from the pain of whatever it was. Other people might have laughed at her, so it doesn't matter. You got some cruel mothers out here, some cruel fathers make fun of you, and little things that happen to this little girl, it scars you.
Yeah, and they say things and don't realize that it can have lasting effect because they don't know. They don't know. Let's we're not giving anybody a pass, but as adults, giving report cards to our parents because we all get report cards from our children, and at some point in time when you're handing out the report card, you also have to look at the individual and what they came through. You understand? And for many of us in our generation, now I raise my children a certain way, and hopefully they'll raise their children even better than how I raised them.
Well,
You
that's what you want.
understand? Right. But my mother, my father, mostly my mother, because women mothers are the ones that usually dole out the punishment and the comments and stuff like that. Things can come out of their mouths that can tear you to pieces.
Yeah.
And they don't know the effect that words can have on somebody because they don't understand it. You understand? And sometimes it takes us as the child or growing up, it takes you way into adulthood where you have to go back and heal that inner child because that inner child is hurting like hell. And don't be a man. Don't because we as women, we'll cry at the drop of a hat. We're most of us are very emotional creatures. But don't be a man who got torn apart as a child, but then you're hearing that, boys don't cry, boys don't show emotion, this, that, and the next thing. So they grow up hurting deep, 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 deep down inside, but fronting. And that's the worst kind of person.
That's right.
You know.
Right. That's right. They're not doing themselves any any favors by being that way. And it's sad that they come up in a situation where they can't explore or be in touch with themselves. And people say, oh, be in touch with yourself. It sounds like you're just some sissy.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have women who were raised around men like that, were never in touch with themselves, never emotional, and feel that that's the blue, and will despise you if you are a good man and you do share your emotions, because that's strange to them. So you see how complex this thing is, that even before it gets to the point of a woman cheating, how is she wired and how is he wired? And how certain things you see, if it's a certain way internally, y'all don't even need to get together. There should be some forum. If you see this, listen, this is going to be a disaster down the line. Y'all like each other and sex feel good and whatever. You think love can conquer all, but love is a currency that's not always compatible.
Right.
You go with some dollars to China late at night and there's no place to change over the dollars into the Chinese money.
Exactly. Or you try to put a British penny in, or a British penny into a quarter machine.
Look what happened earlier today. Look what happened. You know, I got up and I had to pick some things up like around the corner down the block. And I had Ghana CDs, but I only had 14 Ghana CDs, which is worth like what, about $2 and change.
$2 and change.
But I needed more, and I didn't have it. Mrs. Scurv wasn't home, so I had to wait for her to come back around the way and get what I needed, as opposed to going all the way down to where the van is, take the van way down, walk another 3 miles, going to the bank, the ATM, getting what I need more of that. I had the money in the bank, but I didn't have the immediate cash.
You didn't have it on you, right?
I didn't have what was compatible. So people say, "Oh, compatible." See, we
very good statement. Very good word.
This generation, and we want everything so fast. Oh, compatible. We can just, you see the guys compatible, man. I'm looking at that ass. That's all about the compatible I need, because you're thinking of a carnal mind. And like I said the other night, that thing becomes a mockery now, because it's like, oh man, I fell for that.
Exactly.
What did I get myself involved in?
Exactly. That is so true. That is so true.
Take your time. Get to know yourself.
Really and truly, if you meet someone, and after it takes a few meetings, try not to jump in the sack with somebody just because you're physically attracted to them. Those things can happen also. But if you're mature enough in your emotional state to handle sleeping with someone and then trying to get to know them, more power to you, But you want to get to know that person. You want to know if the conversation flows freely, flows easily. You understand? That is a tipping point. That is where, little, red flags can go off in your head. How does the conversation flow? How do you feel when you're talking to this person? Do you have one of those conversations where you can go all night talking to the person and go from one thing to the next, serious to foolish, to philosophical, what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
In the cosmos. Yeah, that's a funny word. Think about that story. Like when I used to have my red light conversations with my old girlfriend when we first hit it off. A relationship, but it was an initial thing that was there, but we were wired in little different ways, and that's what made it. Some of us get set in our ways even from early on.
Right.
It gets welded in. Circumstances can weld in certain things that make it tougher, where the other person says, well, you're only 18 or 19. How did you get so stubborn? And maybe because of so much trauma, it was like somebody welding in this hang up or this idiosyncrasy onto you. And we got to understand. But it's like we used to have those little red light conversations.
Right.
We just met 2 days before and stayed around each other for those. We stayed around each other for a couple of weeks.
Wow.
Weeks, met and stayed around each other for a couple of weeks. That was weird. It's so weird I have to share it.
What is it with these men in this chat? Oh.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead. You know, tell your story, your brother Lance.
Just talking to her.
Yeah.
And it was just right on par. It was a high. I never did drugs, but it was like a drug. It was an intoxication. And it wasn't some seductive sex talk. It was just like a little kid finding a whole room full of comic books. And the person says, well, you can take them home. They're yours. Like, wow.
Right.
Somebody who thinks like me. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you're excited to go deeper. And then you go out into the world and react with the world. And you're enjoying the world as an entertaining backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to be with this person. And you're thinking the same things, but even if it's not the same way all the way, but they can take you beyond what you were thinking and make you learn part of yourself.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be like.
Right.
You know what I mean? That excitement all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so much fun for what it was. But she's deceased now. But I mean, many, many decades, we had a bad breakup in a way. And like I said, but you learn from those things. But me, I don't erase things because of the bad times. Yeah, I take the good and I leave the bad. So I'm not going to sit and, man, they did this and they did that, because maybe they can say I did something. There are women who can say, he broke my heart. He did this. I've done things in an immature fashion or trying to follow the world and going against what my voice said on the inside.
Right.
Man, I know you got a girl, man, but you need to go on, but hit that. Shit, man, you've been trying to get nothing like that in a long time. You go do something. That's the very way. Hey, I think you're a man. They turn on. So they can get a shot at your woman,
Exactly.
Love to your old lady while
you were around making love. Kazoo. Yes. They're gonna let you know you out there, messing around. Somebody else is gonna be stepping in your spot. Because the flip side of a woman needing emotional, understanding and support and love is the fact that she may be with someone who, is constantly, might not be every night, or it might not be a long-term situation, but every time you turn around, there might be somebody else, who's getting their attention. Mm-hmm. You understand? And she's not getting that attention at home. So what do you think is going to happen? It might be a reactionary kind of thing. Now, do you blame her because she reacted? I don't. Mm-hmm. Because if you're sitting, or whatever at home and someone else is getting the praises that you should be getting, hey, get it where you can. Take it away from wherever you can get it. Oh, no, let me stop it. I don't think like that.
See, I got you real relaxed. You open up the book like that.
Reel me in.
Reel you in there, right?
I say something.
No, but it's the truth, though. It's the truth.
Reel me in.
Nobody wants me to hear it all.
I might say too much.
No, but you have to take care at home. You got to take care at home. Take care at home and make sure that it's a wonderful place, on all levels, that on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, that they're being fed on all levels. Yeah, sometimes we slip. We have a hustle and bustle world that demands so much. There's making a fair effort to keep
Yeah.
every cup full enough. Like a waitress who comes back and keeps filling up that cup full of water, even if it's 75%, they come and add a little more. It's like, man,
Exactly.
because they're
Exactly.
thinking of you. You don't have to go call a waitress. You know what I mean? You
They're
take
attentive.
attentive. That's the word I'm looking for. Attentive. How many of us are attentive these days to our
Not
mate?
too many.
Or we just
Not
expect
too
them
many.
to do stuff for us. It becomes a selfish thing now. You put your best foot forward in the beginning, and soon after, the real you comes out. But then you want to cry when the woman leaves you. Or you want to cry or get mad when a woman messes around on you. If she does that, and we have some who are scandalous now. No, don't get me wrong.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I know a chick who was coming at me like 2 days after she got married.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And not like, I wonder if. No, direct. Like, okay, I'm married now. Well, with her, it was like, okay, my family knew his family, and we were dating for a long time. We were together, and they all want us to be together, but that's not really what I want. But since I'm doing this, maybe we can work type thing. We can be the real thing. I've always liked you. No, I'm not getting caught up in that.
You know, I've seen situations where we're friends, you know.
Daily. I just want to give him a shout out. Yes, it's been a while, been too long. But go ahead. If we're going to chat, man, you got to give me a call. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've seen situations where the man has done certain things, you know, and it caused a rift, and it caused, you know, if you want to use the word cheating, you know. But then when it came time to have that conversation, you really couldn't have a fair conversation. You understand? Because now feelings get hurt, and it's almost like it's okay for you to hurt me, but it's not okay for me to hurt you. Do you see what I'm saying? Or the timing may be off. You know, that's another thing. The timing may be off. You see, the timing for you hurting me is over here. You understand? But the timing for me hurting you is not 5 minutes later. It could be an hour and a half later. You see what I'm saying?
The thing is that having that conversation after the woman, you know, found herself in an outside situation, it's like wanting to have a talk about fire safety after you burn the kitchen down and the whole house burnt down. Right?
For real.
You should have been doing it.
For real, you know. But you know what? Again, anyway, this is some things that I want to share has to be on a private show. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things that can be said, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. But maturity is key. Maturity is absolute key. Make sure that, you know, for the men and for the women, that you're not dealing with someone that is immature. You know,
and one who deflects. You sit trying to have a sensible conversation that may not always be pleasant,
right?
Because we have to go there tonight, and the person is sitting there straight up deflecting.
But be fair, because sometimes deflecting comes from the fact that, you know, you're putting someone on the spot, but you're taking blame away from yourself. You understand? Sometimes people don't fight fair. You know, they want to hear all of your dirty laundry, your dirty secrets, but the minute you want to put their dirty secret on blast, it can't work. It can't work. So people will deflect. You understand? And people deflect to protect themselves, to protect their heart.
You know where you're going.
Yeah.
But it should be an attack. It's like almost a lot of folks don't want to face themselves. Okay. Like, okay, a woman steps out and you're having a conversation. You really want to break it down. But I'm not saying every woman who does that is going to deflect and immature, but you have some who are.
Right.
You have men who are, right? Granted, both sides, but it makes it difficult. And I'm good with people who try to deflect, you know. I'll let them talk. I was like, okay, you finished? Let us go right back to this point now. Yeah, I'll let them run around the world now. Yeah. Not telling what you're deflecting, but I'll be here.
And that's when you know that the communication compatibility chip is not there. That's what you have to recognize. Let's be real.
They come all the way around. Okay, back to the original point, and they get mad and they cut you off and all this stuff. That's immaturity. Face the music. It's not just one person's fault. Sometimes it's a combination of both. And figure out where you're going to retrace your steps back and be honest.
Yeah, true.
That's the only way.
True.
It doesn't make any sense.
True.
It's frustrating.
But also for the, you know, create a safe space also. Either way, especially if you want the relationship to work. If you don't give a damn about the relationship, that's one thing. But if you care about your relationship, create a safe space for people to, you know, for that harsh conversation to be had. You understand? You know, and if it's not going right, take a pause. Take a pause. Don't force it. Because ultimately, if two people care about each other and want to work things out, the conversation will go exactly as it should, you know. But if you force it, and if questions have to be answered right now, damn it.
If you don't force it, just relax and let it flow.
Listen to me now. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. Ay. But that's.
And we can have 10 shows the same length and never get to the bottom of everything. Again, remember that any topic that we speak on, there's so many variables and so many factors.
Yes.
In just the same variables and factors that are internal to an individual who's unique to the world.
Right.
So you can take the same person and put them in another situation that's similar, and they're going to react different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You have some women who will internalize pain and neglect for a long time before that even comes across their mind, even though the opportunities are there, because men have to realize a woman goes out into the supermarket just around there and gets something quick, and she's going out in her worst. Like, you know, she might even be a little musty. I ain't showered yet. Let me just run out there. Some dude's going to be hitting on her, giving her the eye. And some can hold on for the longest time, but that doesn't even become a factor. And some never give in. So it never crosses people's mind. There's some women that if it's your chore, because we all have chores in the house, right? I say, okay, take out the garbage. Some women, you don't take out the garbage that way. They knock on the next door neighbor's house, your door, to give it up. Yeah, he didn't take out the garbage. He ain't no man. You don't give it up that quick. And some, like I said, will go on decades. And not even step out.
Exactly.
They might go like me and Mrs. Jones and be with each other's face holding hands, and that's it. We meet every day at the same cafe, 6:30, and no one knows we'll be there. That's a lie in 2021 with all of these phones.
Everybody taking pictures and sending it out.
And everyone knows we'll be there.
Carry your clipboard and your what name there? your calendar.
You post it all over.
We're having a business meeting.
Facebook, business, all right. Them little footsies going on.
Whatever. But we have the clipboard.
Because I had people. I tell you about the lady who it happened 2 times. It happened more than that, but it happened 2 times that really kind of freaked me out. I got a text message with a photo in it when I got to the end of the bus route. I had it actually before, and where was it? Colonial Drive and Hiawassee Road. I was doing the 37 in Orlando, and
Okay.
I was heading out toward Florida Mall. That was the last stop,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard this. Zzz. I was, can't pull this out now.
Mm-hmm.
So got to the end, and it was someone who was obviously at the red light next to me because it was a picture and a shot up. But the thing was, they knew me from online, so they had my number.
Right.
Well, you sure looking juicy sitting behind that steering wheel, Scurv. I kept texting, like, who is this? I thought it was somebody I knew that maybe got a new number or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know you. You don't know me. And there was another one who sent me a text. He said, that was a very pretty color shirt that you have. And you got some nice legs. And I'm seeing
Are
the
you
picture.
serious?
Yeah, from a couple seats back. And I'm sitting there. And it was a bad picture because, you know, sometimes you take pictures and your face look like bloated and stupid and stuff like that. I'm like,
Yes. All the time. All the time.
listen to the conversation with me. I was like, who are you? It's right on the bus with me. I didn't even know. It was like I said, social media. Folks love pictures of you and sending them back.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I can't do nothing. Not that I'm saying I'm going to do something bad or something. I'm just saying I can't, you know. I gotta completely go into a bathroom and blow my nose and pick it. I can't pick my nose with no just raw finger. It'll be on social media somewhere.
That's right.
Getting bad out here too, you know. Because you went by this construction company and the guy's like, I know you to work there. I'm like,
oh wow.
But they got it mixed up, you know. What's the TV, the Middle East
Al Jazeera?
Al Jazeera, yeah. I saw you on there. I said, no, I wasn't there. It must be
oh
you
wow.
too. Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, maybe he saw you on YouTube looking for, you know, he was looking for Al Jazeera.
Yeah, get permission to use your stuff. They wouldn't just use your stuff. And why would they use my stuff, you know?
Carl, what's today? Wednesday? Usually we try to do comedy night on Friday. I don't know how it's going. Lance, when are we doing a comedy night?
Friday or Saturday. I think Beatrice wants to do something on Friday, so we'll make it Saturday because Saturday, Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
Like I said, because things are still in a state of flux for me personally with my projects and stuff and time off and here and there. Sometimes I'm up late, then got to get up early to do something, don't get no sleep, whatever. So we just keep pressing. But once in a couple of months, and I do mean that, everything will be set in stone as far as the schedule. I treat it that way because it's not fair to those who support and follow that. I don't know when the show's going to be. He just does shows whenever he can.
Just happenstance, haphazard.
Right. And even though I've been here in Accra and moved from America and been here since September, you know, we're not settled in the way we want to be settled in. We're making sure to do that if you read between the lines.
Right.
So,
right.
A couple more months, we'll be set and it'll be on time this day. You don't have to wait for notifications because they don't. YouTube doesn't give out notifications where they want, not where they should.
Right.
You know?
You see, Carl, what in the world do you have to say, brother?
We hold back. Don't hold.
We save those for Patreon.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, for real.
On Patreon also, you know, there's a lot of studying. They change up things. They do things with. I got to learn how because we can keep it straight there and really go off.
Oh my God! I want.
You were laughing on the show. I couldn't believe it. You were cracking up like you didn't hear the show before. You were on the show.
Listen, man. Listen. I crack up at myself. What are you talking about? I laugh. I laugh at my laugh. I hear myself laughing and I'm like, oh, that must have been funny. Let me laugh again. Let me laugh.
No, I knew this grown guy. He had to be like 40-something years old back in the 80s when I was in my early 20s. He had to have like 20 years on me or something. And he would go on a Saturday morning and watch like cartoons like, you know, Felix the Cat or Bugs Bunny or something like that or whatever, and get cereal with milk and watch the cartoons and start cracking up. And cracking Oh shit!
Are you
The
serious?
same cartoons he been looking at from when he was a kid.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And I want to tell somebody, oh, you know Bugs Bunny, man. You know what he did, right? Check this out. Yo, Bugs, man, he's a trip, man. Like, something wrong with you.
Hey,
Like
no,
that.
maybe, but it depends on how he is aside from that. Now, if he is,
I know he was messing with some drugs or something. Yeah, he had a little drugs.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
he's a pleasant guy,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
It would be
Yeah.
enhanced time, you know.
Right. Yeah, but listen, a lot of times I go back and I listen to the shows. I mean, I listen to a lot of the different ones, but I know ours are funny. It is what it is. Our shows are usually funny because I've always said I'm not the one that's bringing the heavy stuff. That's just not me. Everybody has their place on this platform. You know what I'm saying? And we have Segment who brings super duper knowledge. We have Sister Miko who's gonna come with the raw reality.
That's right.
And
we have and make you laugh too.
Right, exactly. We have Sister Kimberly, cross country, and she's gonna keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? We have Beatrice who's coming now with gobs and gobs and gobs of research.
Right. Exactly.
And Mr. Political, we have Michael Hamer. They all come with what they come with.
He might come tomorrow night on the recording. I spoke to him earlier today.
That would be lovely. Yeah.
Well, there's a connection between the heart and the brain. And the brain.
I mean, did you see that stuff that he wrote? I heard him.
But it was on point, though.
Yes.
And he told me about it. He said, I didn't get a chance to really get it. As I looked at it right after that. And then, Mr. Political, which we know, he was gone for a couple of weeks because he had to go to the hospital, a little breathing difficulty.
Right.
Panicking. We both were panicking because I'm
we were panicking. Yes.
Yeah. Because if I was in Orlando, I would have drove out to where he is, like looking for him. So
exactly.
It was amazing because the last message that he left, he doesn't mind me saying it. He was like, Brother Lance, I'm having a little problem breathing now. So I'm gonna have to postpone on that show, And so I didn't hear from him like 3 weeks after that. I'm like, man, I'm trying not to
crazy.
Yeah. Then when I got through, hello, how you doing, brother? I was like, man, I've been looking for you.
That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy.
Yeah. He told me, he said, yeah. I thought I was going to get on up out of here, but I got to the hospital on time.
Oh,
and when I got to the hospital, I was a little out of it. They gave me something, put me to sleep. And when I opened my eyes, I saw the nurse. She must have dropped something. And boy, that uniform she had, I died in heaven. I told her, I said, listen, I'm alive and I thought I was going to die, but you trying to kill me in here showing me all that.
She's trying to revive his behind. He didn't know.
I didn't think I had any strength in my body, but I looked down a little lower there. I thought I saw one of the pyramids of Egypt. I'm like, oh, man.
Mr. Political is a mess.
Smoking up. I knew I'd be all right. That's working well. I know I'm all right.
Oh God, he's a mess. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Right. So Eric kept saying, and you, like, meaning, so what do I bring to the platform? I bring exactly what you're seeing right now, exactly what you're experiencing right now. That's what I bring to the platform. That's it. Plus, I'm LanceScurv.com.
That's right. That's right. I was like, yeah. How am I going to say it? You beat me to the punch. That's right.
I shouldn't be tooting my horn. Why didn't you say it?
Yeah, I was about to say. I was thinking of the best way and a new way to say it, basically, not the same old way. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
You beat me to the punch. For real.
Next time, don't let me beat you to the punch.
So
Okay?
when I platform Trilogy, I want to bring something to the platform. I'm just playing.
Hey, you are the platform.
No. One guy, he told me one time he was on the what was it? We were on the bus or somewhere, and he was like, "Man, but you're LanceScurv." I said, "Listen, that's the imagery and the graphics and the image." I said, "Even I'm not LanceScurv." He cracked up. It was like, I can't live up to that. I know. I'm just being myself, but people see the graphics and the this and the that, and it goes beyond. And people think you know, when you meet somebody who, like, you're into, whether it's somebody on TV or sports, or maybe the world don't really know, but you're into them, and you have this imagery of them that they're this big, whatever, and you run into them, and you look at them that way, but they're trying to let you know, listen, I'm just a regular guy like that.
Exactly. But you always say that you're the plate and we're the meal.
Right.
We're the food on the plate. That's what you bring. You know, you are the bloody platform. We're just the food that
plate. Yeah, no, I'm good with that. I love it though. I never thought it would get to this because, you know, I used to draw them pictures and whatever. And that's all it was. I never thought, but I felt something was coming. But I didn't know it would be like, I mean, look, it's not like we have like 2,000 or 3,000 people on the live, but guess what? For the 66 people we have on right now, we having more fun than them people.
That's right.
Because of the dynamic people here in the chat. That makes it. This is not just trolls, but everybody brings some kind of intellectual, emotional, spiritual something to it.
Right.
Willie C. Julia. Yes.
Yes. Hi, Willie. No, he's having a conversation with Martha. They think they might be cousins or they might be related. Well, she think they might be related. So wouldn't that be wonderful if they,
I know.
They are, and they find each other right here. That would really be something.
I'm off on that conversation, but when you said cousins, it reminded me of something completely different, which has nothing to do.
Kissing cousins.
Yeah. A friend of mine who he moved down to the South. I won't say what state, and it was in the area where his mother grew up, and there's a lot of family there. So he was living there for a while and met this, you know, young lady, and they hit it off, and they were hanging out, and you know, they got intimate. So he was in the supermarket. He was in the supermarket with his mother, and it's a big family now, big family spread out in the country. And so the cousin, you know, the one he's having a little fling with, showed, but he didn't know it was his cousin, right? She walks up. Oh, hi, Auntie, so and so. So, oh, how you getting so big? And he's looking at her like, you know her?
Oh God!
And like, yeah, well, the aunt, or the mother of, well, that's your cousin. And they were like,
my God!
And they both had a dumb look on their face, and like, y'all all right? You know, my friend crude. He don't care. He was like, I said, so what did you do, man? He was like, F that. I went over a house later on and got more. I'm like, oh man, I see now. This is on you now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's
it was too good.
Like, that not gonna work. It not work.
I had some female cousins.
I'd have to go do some spiritual bath after that.
I had some cousins that came up from Jamaica when my father discovered he had a brother that he never knew, because me and my grandfather was out there. I don't know if I told you about that one, right? He had his daughters come up, and I remember going to the airport and getting them with my father and everything. And they were sitting back there. They had the little shorts on or whatever. They were attractive, but you don't look at them that way. Like, wow, they look good. I want to. No, this was back in '79. I was 16, get ready to turn 17, whatever. So I remember they were looking at me all funny, whatnot. They're from Jamaica. They were deep from Jamaica, so they're looking at me. I'm this American dude, whatever. So I went in, and they were comedians too. They were like clowns, right? They came to the house, and I went in my room, and I went on my bench, and I started working out a little bit, right? And I remember laying back on my bench, and I had my eyes closed, and two of them, because there's three of them, two of them came in, and one of them came and straddled me from behind. But like I'm on, but they a reverse cowgirl is what they call it, right?
Right.
She sat on me.
She just met you.
Just met me and started whining. And the other cousin was laughing. I was like, yo, because it hit me. I'm relaxed. Look, I'm not trying to get descriptive, but I had some terry cloth shorts on, and that was it. And she had and she sat down and clamped on me, and I jumped. It felt all right, but I'm like, yo, you got to get off of me. And they laugh. Behind.
Did I ask you a question today? Who are you?
Yeah, you did ask me that. I don't know.
Who are you?
I don't know. I attract a lot of stuff.
What the hell happens here? What the hell is this? You know?
What kind of demons I got hanging around me? What kind of demons I got hanging around me? I know.
Oh my God. Help us.
Sometimes you have that problem child. Sometimes you have that accident prone aunt. Sometimes you have that person who can, go through situations unscathed and get into wrecks. And whatever, just the people who, I don't know.
I thought
it was normal.
No, you're not normal. You're not normal at all. What's not normal about you?
I thought to have like intense days, and it's always something normal. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie. I've been through a lot, but I love my life. I love the things I went through. I love the things I learned, the experiences. I think about them and learn more from things that already happened that are already, in the can. Like, this is, I didn't think about with this thing. So I could never be bored.
Right.
I could never
hit the
be
like
bored.
button, guys. Hit the like button. Like and share this video. It's got good stuff in it. Brother Lance.
Yes. What you pause? You about to say something?
I'm just reading the chat. Carl. Yes. I drink it. I make tinctures and I drink it. Yes, I have. Oh God. Ay. Hold on. Yes. So, I had something in my eyes. Is everyone having a good time, folks? I'm sure you are. We've gotten deep into cheating and why women cheat and why men cause them to cheat.
That's any show we do is still just going to touch the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because there is so many layers, and another woman can come on and give a different perspective on this.
Exactly.
This entire thing. You know what I'm saying? So this is just me sharing how I feel these things happen, and Brother Lance adding to it from his perspective.
But you know what, though? The funny thing about it is when I was much younger and I would be in those situations, like I'd find out or you kind of knew, but it was like, like I said, I was still a young man who,
right.
But I noticed that the majority of the times, those women, when they get closer to you, they will start speaking about their man, not just complaining, but bringing you into it because they wanted somebody to talk to. They may have been too embarrassed to talk to their girlfriends about it, but they have you there, and that's the intimacy that they're really enjoying, to be able to talk about what already, and shows me they really don't want to get it from anywhere else. I'm talking about get the attention, not just sex, that they want it from home, you know?
Right, right.
You know?
That's true. That's
Love
true.
you too, sister, Queen. That's
Queen,
right.
she's coming. She's coming with her poetry. Come with it, sis.
That's right.
Yes,
But yeah, so they would
that's
talk about
true.
them, and I would notice that, like, wow, they're hurt. They want what they want with the attention, but I see that they're really into their mate.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bit of them that feel like a little like, oh man, I'm doing this, or I shouldn't even, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have some that don't even give a damn. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Because it depends on the levels.
2, 3, 4. Time to go. You done? Okay. Next week again.
Right.
Like, wait a second.
Yeah. But, for me personally, I don't know that there's a part of me that, and, you were a very mature young man. So, people may have looked at you in a different light, but I personally couldn't do that.
I understand.
No matter how much I need someone to talk to, anybody that could be my son.
Remember, a lot of them were reliving something like past, and it was like,
no, that's true too. That's true.
I just one size fits all thing, and they don't even think that. It's the energy that makes them feel a certain way, because we all come with our own energy. So
yeah, that's true.
That was a factor also. Maybe not in every single case, but it takes them back. We all sometimes want to go back to simpler times, not because of something in a relationship, but just even in the world, the way the world is right now. A lot of times we look back and we look at the videos and say, man, I remember that Michael Jackson song was out. I remember I was doing this and I was doing, yeah, man. And you laugh at the people who are still alive that you can talk with, and they're there. And it's like,
right.
Wow, this is something precious.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the world
I'm not knocking it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, when I try to picture myself in that scenario. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
Well, it takes so much to get a person that, that, again, different people, different thresholds, different, it's not a one size fits all thing. We just don't know. That's why I love the study of human nature. When I do study that in a person, it's because it's that person, even though they might be similar things and reactions and whatever, but still the bottom line is everybody's an individual.
Right. Right.
Some will do, some won't do.
Right.
Some don't get it.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? So, should we tell them what our initial conversation was going to be about, that we may table for? Go ahead, Brother Lance. Tell them.
About the S and the M and about S&M, sadomasochism, from the point of view or from the outside of it all. I've had experiences by being around people, not experiences myself like that. Yes, my things, but nothing where like that satanic branded crazy gag ball business, But we were having a conversation the other day. We were basically trying to speculate on, like, what does a person get out of that, and what is it about it? So we were not knocking people. We were just, and we really had a good conversation on that. I wanted to continue it, And we'll do it so that we have no holds barred. And the thing is, too, YouTube is on some foolishness.
Yes.
Looking at videos, and what I did, we did FaceTime, and I turned the phone around, had it on a stand where anything I was doing on the computer you could see. We pulled up some videos of some old devil worshiping S&M jumping around the stage with no clothes on, and they come and knock my channel. Unbelievable.
Yeah, man. I was like, and then Brother Lance just let me know that you can't refer back to any other person's platform. If they come at you, you can't make reference to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, you can't, and they say that in their bylaws. They
Right.
say this person. They say, that's not valid. They will not acknowledge that.
Right.
So
Right.
YouTubers quietly go through a lot of changes starting from this month.
Right.
You know,
You see naked women swinging on a pole, absolutely, absolutely nothing on, not even a G-string, not even a flower patch, you know, and they're swinging on a pole, legs wide open, and that's acceptable. That's quite okay.
legs wide open, so wide you can see their tonsils.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, you caught
Lord.
that.
I'm floored. I'm floored.
It's double standards, though. It's double standards. It is. And,
Yeah.
you know,
It is. And that's not right. That's not right because, you know, they're coming at you for speaking things, right? And they have these things that are visual. Because think about this: a child listening to your show. What are the odds that they're going to remember? They're going to absorb the stuff that is said and remember it on the first take,
a certain
right?
way, you know.
Right now,
Mommy,
they know
all the time on their show. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, but then you look at the imagery. Images go into, you know, it's like once you see something, you can't unsee it.
That's right.
Right. So when a child looks at a channel like that and sees something like that, and then, you know, just for 30 minutes.
Traumatic.
Yes. Yes. It alters, it's going to create an altered state in that child.
Yep. It's not even age restricted.
No. That's crazy. You know? But hey, we're gonna have that show. We're gonna have it. We're gonna make it happen.
To the BJ video. Show.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be Patreon all the way.
That better be Patreon. Check me out on that one.
So for anyone on here tonight, all 59, 58, whatever of you that are still here, if you're not subscribed to Patreon, now 60, make sure that you subscribe. $1 is sufficient. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. $1 is sufficient. Brother Lance is going to go deep. He's going to go deep, deep, deep undercover.
Under the covers? Literally. We ain't going to hold back. We're going to tell it all. I am not going to hold back. There's going to be nothing in that jar when I'm done.
Ain't no stopping you now.
Oh, no. There's been so many things that's held us down.
Oh, God.
The Patreon will help us to finally come on around.
Yes, Carl. Deep. So you
Go deep, come out the other side of the planet.
That's right. And if you haven't subscribed, then join Patreon. We have a good show over there. You know, we try to promote it so that people can get a sneak peek or whatever.
And the thing is, we put everything we put up on YouTube there, but the bottom line is that those shows, you can't put them up on daggone YouTube. At least I can't.
Exactly. No, you can't.
We have it there. And we don't do the tiers on Patreon like other people do. They say, well, for $5 you get this, and for $10, look, we're working hard enough with the regular stuff that it's $1 is just a symbol, symbolically.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because, like I said, people, none of us out here are super rich or anything like that. So I'm not going to sit here again and be like, yeah, give for what? As long as there's a little something coming in to help the equipment and the programs and stuff, I've been doing it on my own for years, and I really do appreciate it. But I'm not going to sit here and try to try to rob somebody. It's crazy. It's embarrassing. This guy who does YouTube, and I check out other channels, and everything you see, as soon as they get on, give them time, give them hours, put in work, upload stuff, keep your cameras with you, throw stuff. Sometimes things happen where I have to do things behind the scenes, or I might have a power outage for a day and I can't do anything. Or sometimes I fall once or twice a month, but I try to get things up every day.
Right.
Tomorrow, I got everything charged up. I'm gonna wake up. It's gonna hit me what to talk about. Or go up on the anthill, go somewhere, go by the beach, go here, go. I don't know. Wherever I'm going, they're coming with me.
That beach thing was really good. You know, the one you put up this morning. That was really good. Yes, I do.
I want to do more like that.
That was very good.
Anything.
And I like the scenery, so that just added to it.
And I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that. I wanted to show while I was talking, instead of me like, let me sit up in front of a dingy white wall, off-white dingy wall, poor lighting, and just talk monotone. No.
Right.
Peaked it. I said, I get some business over there, and I looked over and I said, that'd be nice. And when I saw the rocks and everything,
it was beautiful.
Those 4 young ladies that I saw down there. Yeah, go ahead with what you were saying.
I'm not saying anything. No. I don't have a brain fart. I'm reading the chat. Carl is asking, how deep are we going to go? I was going to tell him not as deep as he thinks, but
I'm going real deep.
Brother Lance will go deep. If you're looking for me to go deep, stop looking.
You'll keep the ball rolling. You'll guide me.
I'll guide you. You go deep, I guide. That don't sound right.
So you beat me too. You guide. Oh God. The wee hours you can't help. But for me, it's the wee hours. I got an excuse. It's 3:25 over here, 3:26.
11:26 over here.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't even struck midnight yet. Oh, Mr. Heru, Mama Ella is still a woman, sweetie.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we got to do that comedy show this weekend.
Yeah, we do.
I'm gonna be abstract. I'm gonna go a little bit beyond. I'm gonna go a whole lot beyond. I'm gonna just not hold no. Folks gonna think I'm crazy after that. I don't even know how. I don't write things down. We just gonna get and just
remember. I still have my fishing hook. So no matter how far and abstract you think you're gonna go,
you'll see what's gonna happen. You're gonna forget to use the fishing hook because you can be cracking up so hard. For real.
Mr. Heru wants you to talk about, but we'll do that for another show. He wants to talk about cheating that leads to pregnancy. But God. I think that's heavy, so we might want to I got
a story to tell, but anyway, you know what I am. Oh God, I ain't
that the one you can't tell. That the one you can't tell. I will not allow it at all.
Yeah. Wow. There's a way to tell that one, but like I said, it's a long time.
Well, yeah.
That should have gave me a nervous breakdown, right? Even before the part, it was just, God, boy. Docudrama.
Jesus. You know what I'm just sitting here thinking about, right?
What's that?
The pants around the ankle. And the toothbrush in the mouth.
Yeah. Once they understand the story, they'll understand. Well, who's she talking about? Well, you understand. You crack it up too. That one cracked you up, didn't it?
It cracks me up all the time. That is just total. What do you call that? A shift in brain function altogether. It's like you went into an altered state.
Yeah.
All right, we can't be having these private laughs. People don't know what we're talking about.
I know. Look, they're gonna find out. I'm gonna tell it to a certain degree. Just to protect individuals, I'll try to twist it around, but this is gonna be the real thing. Yeah.
Right.
It's tragic, but it's gonna be a comedic thing.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Comedic elements to it. And I'm gonna like, because I can detail the stories more, but I don't like to just over detail it. Because I absorb it. When something's happening with me, I absorb it. I remember everything. You know,
I know you do.
When I spit it back, trust me, be ready. Be ready. You be driving on the highway and passing exits. You won't even remember where you have to get off if you drive.
Exactly. I really
pile of food 2 feet high. You're just gonna be disconnected. Trust me.
Right. And if anybody on here has time and you haven't seen the comedy night one that we did, it's a 6-hour show.
Ooh,
but
God.
it is chock full of crazy. Let me tell you something. I laughed so hard. I know I tightened up a whole bunch of stomach muscles after that night. You know, stomach muscles that sit-ups couldn't help.
Honest, you know, you laughed so hard, chopping power was more efficient.
Oh man, let me tell you, tighten up everything. I could hold a lot.
No, see, I'm about to go off right now, but I'm gonna hold it. Everything tightens up so much. You're in the mud.
not just sphinx. No, you see, I don't know why you talking about no sphinx. I can't even pronounce it. You talking about? There are other muscles. There are other muscles that were tightened up too. You know. Oh God, a lot of other muscles were tightened up that have significant function. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Stop.
You should love that song.
You know, I love it too.
It's been a crazy night. You know?
It has. What time is it now? It's 3:00, right? I wish we could do. You know how we found out that you could do the music on StreamYard and everybody can hear it. But that's what we need to figure out, how to do a show, even if we have to do it on your channel. Can we do it on your channel through StreamYard?
Well, that's still YouTube, though. You know.
Oh, okay. Because YouTube owns StreamYard? Okay.
No, it's a program that's used on YouTube that they work along with, but everything has to go along YouTube's guidelines. So no, we just do another YouTube channel, and have the music playing right on there like that. That's all.
Well, we have to do something because a lot of these
have to do it. You know?
Yeah.
Just set it up. All I need is set it up with a different email address. You know.
Okay. Well, let's make it happen. All right. So I know you got to go to bed. Thanks, guys. Thanks, family.
I'll kick into a different gear and be up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I know. You know? I don't want that to happen to you. No, that's okay. This was fun, and I hope everyone got something from it. You know, men, be a little bit more open with your women. You know, be vulnerable.
Yes.
And to hear them, and women, you know, speak to your men instead of speaking to someone else. Anyway, that's
so true. And we'll cover this topic more over again because you could never get every aspect, and I know that.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
many different factors. So for those who hear an aspect that they may have gone through or experienced, you know, don't think we're slacking, but we like to go in with surgical precision, and we'll come back. Maybe it'll be a different title somewhat, but we'll cover the subject just like we cover other ones over and over again from different angles. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
If you have a topic you want to go back, you want us to go back on and speak on a certain aspect that we didn't talk about, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Yes, yes,
You know?
yes, indeed, indeed.
Mhm.
So good night, Brother Lance. Or you
All
should
right.
say good night, Gracie. Good night. Good night, good night, good night. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.